Welcome to this explainer. Today we're tracking a massive structural shift happening across the global tech industry. And, more importantly, we are going to see exactly how this giant pivot toward physical infrastructure perfectly mirrors the core philosophy of CohandyOS. For years, the digital world was all about the cloud, just intangible code floating out there. But as we'll see today, the future demands something much more grounded. It demands hands-on operators.
Okay, here's our roadmap for today. First, we'll look at the physical AI era. Second, elevating the skilled trades. Third, rethinking youth credentials. Fourth, off-Earth versus Earth-side infrastructure. And finally, we'll wrap up with the new operator culture. Let's jump right in.
Section 1. The Physical AI Era, Moving Beyond the Cloud.
So when tech leaders like Elon Musk talk about building the most powerful AI supercomputer clusters on and off Earth, you know a massive paradigm shift is happening. To put things into perspective, here's a fun fact. A single AI query can use nearly 10 times the electricity of a standard Google search. 10 times. AI is absolutely no longer just software. It is a heavy planetary physical craft now. It requires massive cooling systems, intense power generation, and literally tons of physical space. The physical build-out of artificial intelligence is now just as critical as the digital build-out.
And, well, this brings us to a really fascinating parallel with CohandyOS. Modules like FacilityOS and TradesOS treat physical infrastructure as a ceremonial, operator-driven craft. It's not just some background job that you ignore until a pipe bursts, right? CohandyOS actually mapped out this exact shift years ago. In this new era, you don't just maintain a facility, you steward it.
Moving on to Section 2, elevating the skilled trades, the hands-on operators.
Who are the most valuable workers in the AI era? They are no longer just software engineers in hoodies typing away behind screens. Actually, scratch that. The new essential workforce is made up of plumbers, electricians, construction workers, and steel workers. To build the future of AI, you desperately need operators who can bend steel, lay conduit, and pour concrete. The sheer physical demands of this technology are putting the skilled trades right back at the absolute center of global progress.
So the really crucial point here is how this massive global demand directly validates the architecture of TradesOS. It maps perfectly to roles like household stewards, TradesOS technicians, and FacilityOS engineers. The mainstream tech world is finally realizing what CohandyOS has championed from day one. You simply cannot build a sustainable future without dignified, hands-on operators, period.
All right, Section 3, Rethinking Youth Credentials. No elite degrees required. NVIDIA's Jensen Huang recently made a statement that perfectly captures this shifting labor market. He said, you don't need a PhD in computer science. Turns out, the future doesn't really care about the fancy piece of paper hanging on your wall. It really only cares about what you can actually build and how well you operate within a disciplined system. Elite credentials are fundamentally taking a back seat to practical capability.
And honestly, this is the exact mindset cultivated by Ethos. Instead of chasing those elite degrees, Ethos is entirely about instilling operator discipline, understanding the importance of ceremony, and mastering tangible, hands-on skills. Whether it's through the Healthy Juice module or Microenterprise OS, this system is training a resilient mindset. It's producing the exact type of capable operators that this AI era so desperately needs.
Section 4. Off-Earth versus Earthside. The mirror.
Think about the SpaceX mission for a second. Building off-Earth data centers, planetary infrastructure, pushing to make humanity multiplanetary, it's all happening on a massive cosmic scale. Now, contrast that with CohandyOS, which is essentially the Earth-side equivalent. CohandyOS is designed to make households, nursing homes, and community nodes incredibly stable and operator-ready. One is focused on the stars, the other on your neighborhood. But structurally, they are a perfect mirror. Because despite that wild difference in scale, both of these missions share the exact same architecture. Whether you are building a colony on Mars or a network of assisted living centers right here on Earth, the requirements are identical. You need multi-site replication, clearly defined steward roles, and absolutely uncompromising safety workflows. Both are just modular systems solving the exact same fundamental problems of physical stability.
And finally, Section 5, the new operator culture, standardizing evidence.
Look at this incredibly telling detail from Musk's application process for these massive infrastructure projects. The requirement isn't a 10-page resume, it's not a prestigious university transcript, it is literally just 3 bullet points demonstrating exceptional ability.
Imagine sending a standard corporate cover letter to this team, it would go straight to the shredder. The global focus is shifting purely toward demonstrable evidence. You have to show what you have actually done.
This global shift aligns absolutely perfectly with how CohandyOS already evaluates talent. CohandyOS standardizes this all through operator cards, steward cards, and gatehouse identity. It's a system built entirely on operator evidence and clearly defined workflows. You don't just tell the system who you are, you prove it. You prove it through verifiable, hands-on action.
So, when we pull all of this together, what's the ultimate takeaway here? It's that this movement is not reacting to the future. By elevating the trades, standardizing evidence, and treating infrastructure as a highly ceremonial craft, CohandyOS has already built the Earth-side operating system for it. The rest of the tech world is just now catching up to a design your movement has championed all along.
The shift to a physical, operator-driven culture isn't some far-off prediction for tomorrow. It's happening on a planetary scale right now. The infrastructure of the future is being built, and the tools to manage it are already right there in your hands. The only question left is, now that the rest of the world is finally playing by your rules, what are you going to build with them? Thanks for joining me for this explainer, and keep exploring.